I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Year 2007 has gone. A leader was born. The name of Commander General YAHANNA, year is on. New 7 has born. I took my oath, nigga, I swore to I.S.U.P.K. It's the only fucking way. One West to the death until they bury me. And I see Alizé, big bottle of scotch. 125 at the block, and where we set up shop. I catch a body at camp, you front on to Zaria. So hold your peace. When he speak, when he teach, before I reach for that peace and clear that street, I was never humble, always a beast. I let it fly for the most high, YAHANNA, L Cool J, homie. I'm that type of guy. And for the heathen, I'm the only one standing. If it's you and I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 what? I.S.U.P.K, the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Yahweh Ben Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat Rock the third. Yo, man. Yo, get back to that 1969 I.S.U.P.K shit, man. I want to hear that 1969 I.S.U.P.K. We the children of God, Yashala, and we only pray to Almighty Yahweh and do the commandments like his son Yahweh shot. Don't think we soft, nigga. Yeah, you could die. We not Christian. We don't believe all as everybody. If it ain't about the 12 tribe, fuck everybody. And that's a statement. You need to stop hating. You can't prove we Africans, so stop debating. I was stuck in a hard place, a hard time behind the rock, thinking I was Muslim. So I seen the I.S.U.P.K, big homie to Zaria, battling Imam Bashir. I bet Bashir is a woman, that's the secret of the year. Your philosophies can't clap back. Africa don't mean you black. Tell side now to that. Tell polite to cross the fucking line and fall the fuck back. You hear me, nigga? I'm with some real niggas at the Passover, nigga, drinking liquor. I.S.U.P.K. What? It's 613 commandments, nigga, and you can't do 10, my nigga. Matter of fact, you can't do 1, my nigga. Let's see if you can stop eating pork. I see that pork juice running down your fork. Talk about you blessed in the streets of New York. I see that tight Christian 3-piece suit that you bought. When you gonna rock that? When you go to court? Maybe Sunday, ready get Easter. I blast at you masters, knowledge reigns supreme over all you teachers. Pedophile supporters, cool rigor morals. Your niggas out of order. When Christ returns, you hear the screams in the chorus. Now breathe.
Revelations 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Tell me why.
gotta separate from the society. We gotta separate. How long does the white man have to murder and kill for you to realize he's a goddamn devil? How long does he have to murder and rape and arrest and shoot unlawfully for you to realize this white man is a goddamn beast?
All he does is rape, murder, steal, and plunder. You understand that? And as a result, they destroyed our people. And as a result, our people are running around with the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan because there's a Jewish imposter on the planet. When you take away a man's identity, you can replace it with anything. That's why we're in every religion.
And what I'm telling you, what I have to teach you, every race does it automatically. You don't have to teach Asians to join themselves. You don't have to teach East Indians to join themselves. You don't have to teach Arabs. When them Africans come over here from Africa, you don't have to teach them that. You don't have to teach the Vietnamese. You have to teach us. You have to teach us.
Sharp. Now wood. I'm out to get this. Everybody want to be in my face. Crazy. New B. Jones. Yes. Yes. Yeah. My whole bed was surrounded by years, months, days, hours, and minutes. Now that the bid is finished, brothers wanna meet me at the line of scrimmage. Like this is football. Course I ball, I put my foot in y'all. Y'all can go and kick rocks. Should've known when I come home, I'll be hotter than a melting pot. I'm focused. Didn't set it out, know what the hell I'm pursuing, know what the hell I am doing. I told you dudes I read New York like Patrick Ewing. You catch it like an up north flick. If you own the team like Isaiah Thomas, why the hell you in New York selling Knicks? You don't understand my problems, and I see you're not gonna help me to solve them. I guess I'm all alone, just me and my money and my microphone. Just me and my microphone. When you wide of sight, you wide of mind. Brothers on the streets, contain the crime. They don't even keep you inside their minds. Cause when you wide of sight, you wide of mind. When you wide of sight, you wide of mind. Brothers on the street, contain the crime. They don't even keep you inside their minds. Cause when you wide of sight, homie, you wide of mind. You know who I am, the next $1 million man. Why you wanna shit on me? Don't wanna set it out for me. It's all good, I'm back in the hood, doing things I should. 2 years locked up, and your brother still tripping wood. What's the meaning? More parole, a brother steaming and triple beam, infrared beam, stroke beaming to your face. Your brothers is dreaming. Holla at your kid. Stuff I done did. Y'all dudes are ruin the stuff I done did. I'm the reason why dudes are getting deals in the Lower East. This is my house. Trying to take your dudes off the lease. How your dudes are putting mixtapes out without shouting out me. B. Jones, me, myself, and my money and my microphone. And my microphone, when you wide of sight, you wide of mind. Brothers on the street, contain the grind. They don't even keep you inside their mind. Cause when you wide of sight, you wide of mind. When you wide of sight, you wide of mind.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.
Shalom Israel, my name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Brakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. Alright, so today's class topic is, life of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian is about war. You understand? And my brother Abadawan will come in, and teach an excellent class on that. You understand? But in the meanwhile, we're going to break down some scripture to show you that the Most High is not dealing with everybody. So when the U.P.K say that, the Most High is only dealing with the children of Israel, we prove this through the scriptures. You understand? This is not just we, making it up. You understand? This can be proven through the entire scripture. That the Bible is strictly about the children of Israel. You understand? From front to back. You understand? So, without further ado, we will jump to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. And this is what it says. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You understand? So the Most High has chosen the children of Israel to be a special people. A people above all the people on the face of the earth. You understand? But why are we here in the condition, that we are in here in Jamaica? You understand? Serving slavery here in Jamaica. You understand? Why are we, why are we predominantly in the garrisons and the ghettos in Jamaica? It's for one reason and one reason only. We don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? And because of that, we have fallen from this state, of being, the royal people on the face of the earth. You understand? Because we don't keep these laws that the Most High gave us that has made us holy. You understand? All right, the next scripture is Romans chapter 9 and verse 30. And this is what it says. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Most High is telling you that he loves Jacob. Jacob is, the father of the 12th tribe of Israel. You understand? Jacob's name was changed to Israel after he wrestled with that angel, right? So, his name being supplanter, meaning supplanter, Jacob or Yaakov, was changed to Yashar Allah or Israel, which means prince of the power after he wrestled with an angel, for a blessing, right? So, the Most High is telling you that Israel he loved, but Esau he hated. All right, so this comes to the point now why we say that the Most High is only dealing with Israel. Because here it says that the Most High hate Esau, and this is not the only scripture, this is just one, right? Esau is the father of the Caucasian race, the oppressor, you understand? Which he was Jacob's brother, you understand? And the scripture told you that, both of them would be separated from the womb, you understand? Right? So the Most High is making it clear that he loves Jacob, but Esau he hates. Why he hates Esau? because Esau pushes homosexuality. You understand? Esau tells his embassy that they should raise the LGBT flag on Jamaican soil. You understand? Knowing that Jamaican people do not support the LGBT community. You understand? The Most High hates Esau because Esau destroys the earth. You understand? Esau is, you know what I mean, the main cause of why, you know what I mean, the earth is destroyed. You understand? Esau kills the animal. Esau oppress and kill and rape everybody on the face of the earth. That is why the Most High hate Esau. You understand? But he's telling you straight that he loves Jacob, which is the father of the 12th tribe of Israel, or the children of Israel. You understand? Which are blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians. You understand? So, are we wrong for saying what the Bible says? Which means no, we are not wrong to tell you what the Bible says. You understand? It's just you have to come out of that, you know what I mean, imaginary, you know what I mean, state that you're in, you know what I mean, being brainwashed by the Christian church that God loves everybody. But that is not the case. The Bible tells you straight that these are the records of the children of Israel. You know what I mean? And the children of Israel is not the people over there in Israel right now. You understand? The children of Israel, as the Bible prophesied, would be the poor people on the face of the earth right now. You understand? Which are the blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians. All right, so the next scripture I'm going to jump to, right, is 2nd Esdras, and this is in the Apocrypha, right? The Apocrypha is 14 books that Esau, which the Most High ate, right, took out of the Bible. You understand? Because if he left these books, you know what I mean, in the Bible, right, eat every, you understand? The enemy would be identified immediately. You understand? So he took these books out of the Bible, which was in the original Bible, the King James 1611 version of the Bible, right? And now we are in the book of Ecclesiastes, 2nd Esdras, in the Apocrypha, right? And this is verse 6, chapter 6 and verse 54. And this is what it says. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. Meaning, we all come from Adam. You know what I mean? We all come from Adam. But this is what it says. Made it Lord of Salakia. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen, meaning the children of Israel, because the Bible tells you that the children of Israel are the chosen people of the Most High. You understand? So we all come from Adam, but the Most High choose Israel. You understand? The Most High choose Israel. See? But this is what it says. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, meaning the people who has chosen. Esdras is telling you that the Most High made the world for the children of Israel's sake. You know what I mean? The Most High had a grand plan, you know, to have his people rule the earth. You understand? And govern the earth. You know what I mean? After his laws and his statutes and his commandments. You know what I mean? Not the laws that tell you that, you know what I mean, a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. Like Esau push in this earth. Which is the reason why, one of the reasons why the Most High hates Esau. See, but laws that are righteous that says a man shall not lie with mankind as he lie with womankind. You understand? So these were the laws that the Most High wanted to govern the earth. You understand? So he made the world for our sake, the children of Israel's sake. See? Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. And that is a hard pill for swallow. You know what I mean? Because this is telling you that every other people upon the face of the earth is nothing to the Most High. You understand? And Christians teach you that God loves everybody. And this is a prophet of the Most High speaking the word of the Most High, telling you that thou have said, meaning the Most High have said that the other people, they are nothing. Continue reading. You see? Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, but be like unto spit. You understand? The Most High consider these other nations like spit. You know what I mean? You know what a spit is. A spit is the most disgusting thing. You know what I mean? So you spit the spit that comes out of your mouth is what the Most High regards these other people as. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but that's the Bible. You understand? That is the Bible. You understand? Does that mean the Most High is unrighteous? La. It means the Most High loves us, the children of Israel, the poor people here on the face of the earth. You know what I mean? That suffer oppression and slavery under these wicked heathens who are oppressing us to this day. You understand? That does show you that the love of the Most High is exclusive and it's not inclusive, which means it's more valuable. You understand? If you have a woman, Zane, and she give her love to everybody, would you consider that love? You wouldn't consider that love. But if she exclusively, you know what I mean, separate herself and to you alone and you alone, you would cherish that woman. That is the same love that the Most High is giving us. You understand? He's showing you that his love is not easy to come about, but he loves you. So what you should do is cherish that love. You understand? You should value that love and stop say, well, it is unfair that the Most High only love us, but he is the other nation. Give thanks that the Most High love you. And do what the Most High say you for do so it can be well and to your generations after you. You understand? Stop fighting for the other nations because they will not fight for you. You understand? And I don't understand why our people can't get that. These other nations, they will make themselves rich off your backs. You understand? They care zero about you, but you are fighting that the Most High will love them when the Most High is telling you that he only loves you. You know what I mean? Me appreciate the love there. I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica, Abadawan appreciates that love. Commanding General YAHANNA appreciates that love. You understand? Yeah, man. We don't want to give that love there to nobody else. We take it gladly. And we give it to our people and our people alone. You understand? Continue reading. All right, so let's jump to the book of Amos. Zine. And this is Amos chapter 1. Slakia, Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. And this is what it says. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So the Most High tell us, yeah, you alone him know. The Most High not deal with everybody. Him create everybody, but him not communicate with everybody. He must say, you alone him know. You understand? Which is the children of Israel is talking. You alone. You understand? So is the Most High unfair for that? La. It's just the nature of the Most High. You understand? When you have your children, your responsibility is not for everybody's children. You understand? You make sure your children get food, clothes, shelter. You understand? Everything that they need. Your responsibility is not for everybody's children. So why do you expect the Most High to love everybody? It is his right, like it is your right to love your children. You understand? And even if you have children, you have a certain child that you love more than the rest of children, and don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean? Some want to lie and tell yourself, say, yo, you love all, I want to pity them the same. That is a lie. You have a favorite. You understand? All right. Finishing verse 2. Slakia. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. So that explains why we are at the bottom of society today. So because you alone the Most High know, same like how you know only your children, Zane, and you're responsible for only your children. The Most High said, therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. In other words, you punish your children for their disobedience because they are your responsibility. That is what the Most High is saying. You understand? That is why we are at the bottom of society. You understand? Suffering, you know what I mean? Murders, death, destruction, everything that plagues us, diseases, because we don't keep the Most High laws, because we are, he said, all for all our iniquities, meaning the breaking of his laws. We don't keep his laws. You can't imagine the creator of this earth give us the title, and all he requires is you to keep his law. You know what I mean? And you will rule this earth, and you don't keep it. You say, well, if God never want you eat pork, him would make it so nice. And then you bash the Chinese for eating dog. You bash the Chinese for eating dog, but you eat pork. Which I'm not saying the Chinese should eat dog. That is unlawful. But you see the hypocrisy of the children of Israel. You understand? Which just do the Most High law. Don't ask no question, just do it. And the Most High will get you out of this state that we are in. You understand? All right. So the last scripture I'm going to pull is Psalms 147, verse 19. Which says, He showeth his word unto Jacob. Jacob is the father of the 12 tribe of Israel. Speaking about the Israelites, basically, he used Jacob to refer to the children of Israel. So the Most High show his word unto Jacob, continuing his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. You understand? So he gave his laws to Israel. You know what I mean? It's like somebody give you the instructions to how to operate a certain vehicle. And he never give everybody. He give you, because you operate it. You see? That's the Most High laws, statutes, and commandments. He gave it to Israel. See? Continuing, verse 20. He has not dealt so with any nation. So the Most High show you, say, yo, you're so privileged that him give him laws, but him never deal so with nobody else of value. You know what I mean? The responsibility that he gave to you. You understand? You must value it, and you must not envy these other nations. You understand? You must not seek to, you know what I mean, trim your ways and accept homosexuality because you look a visa. You know what I mean? And you want to go on tour. You understand? So you drop your standard. You know what I mean? Speaking about these Rasta artists. See? Dropping your standard, which Rastafari is just some, you know what I mean, foolish religion anyway, which we implore every Rasta for coming at the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general. YAHANNA. See? So the Most High is telling you that you should value the fact that he's dealing with you because he never deal with nobody else. You understand? And to me, that is a glorious thing. You understand? And with that, I turn the class over to Priest and Officer Abidawan. Shalom, sir.
Shalom, shalom. Yabashim Yawashai Barakatam. Yabashim Yawashai Barakatam to all the brothers. Yawashama Ailatan Basham Yawashai to all the sisters. Welcome to our UPK law class. All right, so as Officer Kayadon rightfully brought out, the laws are not done away with. And well, you know, I have a lot of friends who believe otherwise, but
God.
you know, I stand where I stand. I have to stand for the Most High.
Right.
We as Israelites, you stand any other way, you're going to feel it.
Right. Can.
You are going to feel it. Trust me. You're going to feel. I mean, most of you believe that you're making progress now and things. So, oh, I don't need to join being a nothing with nobody. I know nothing. You're not with we, no. You're not with we. We giving you the opportunity to come back to the Most High.
God.
That's all the I.S.U.P.K is giving you. Extending, be the prophets on the ground, extending that olive leaf to you out there in the world. It's best you come now than the Most High. But anyway, take you and come now. You shall come. Yeah, man.
Right.
And then more, if you don't come, you're going to die. So it's up to you.
Right.
Understand? You understand? It's like when you're in your parents' house and you're not listening, which all of us went through that period of what you call it, disobedience. And then say, you're going to hear what we say and stay or disobey and go.
Right.
And majority of our people, majority of our people has done so when it comes to the Most High, disobey and go.
God.
And most of them now, you tell them about the truth and thing, and they start listening and say, yeah, sound good. And then they touch the dietary law and say, don't eat pork. Yeah, they get pierced things like that.
God.
Until they start see them less. But if you eat pork, you can't eat dog too, you know.
Right. God.
Yeah, if you check it, the dog look cleaner than the pork.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Who knows? Probably tastes all better.
Well, made Mr. Chin eat him more than the pork, so maybe.
God.
But our people is so stubborn, and it's not today. And I mean, we are from the time of Moses, the kind of warfare that we have been used to, or the Most High is trying to show us, is a warfare that is of a spiritual nature, you know. Yeah, because
God.
those enemies don't come upon you physically unless you spiritually disobey the Most High.
God.
You do the things that He say you must not do, and then nations come upon you. When we were brought into slavery, normally people go into slavery because of warfare. You invade a country and lose, they catch you and put you in slavery. There's no history of we going into any war with these men who put us into the last 300 odd years of slavery.
Right.
So in other words, it must be a spiritual battle that we lost. And the Most High execute some punishment. Because when you check it from Judges coming all the way down, we sin, we get punishment. We sin, we get punishment. Then you see it come down to the kings, all the way down to Christ, until we are kicked out the land, and we still breaking the law, statutes, and commandment. The Most High sent us into slavery, and we're still doing it. One of the worst things you can tell our people is that they should not eat shell food and pork.
God.
Those two things they love the most, shell food and pork. And then behind that now, when Christmas come, even some of those who follow you know, when they touch Christmas, you know, they you know, all the classes that they would normally listen to, they go on hold. Those classes go on hold until after Christmas. Because they have to taste the ham, they have to put up the Christmas tree, and they have to say, I'm just doing it for the kids.
Right.
Anyway, we're going right into warfare still. Deuteronomy 20.
Another one can. Another one can. Start at verse 1.
Yeah, we're going through all of it.
Another one can. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So whenever we go out to battle physically against our enemies, and of course, this is providing that we are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That is, of course, providing that we are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, that this applies. Because we don't, in other words, it's the Most High that fights our battle.
Okay.
The only thing we basically do is go and claim the victory. You understand? So
another one can.
We go into war not being afraid of the enemy.
Okay.
And that is why we in the UPK says what? No coward.
Right.
Right. This is all warfare. But our people believe otherwise. You look look at America today. When we look at America, which if we even combine all together, can we go up against America? We don't.
Yeah.
We don't even have the guns.
Good.
And a few of us who have guns is still made by guns are made by our enemies.
Good.
All these weapons made by them. Verse 2.
Another one can. Verse 2. And it shall be when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people.
Verse 3.
Another one can. Verse 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them.
All right. So this is the role of this. Now, what we're reading, these are laws and warfare. And who come and bless who come and speak to the people before they go to war? The priests.
Priest, God.
Yeah. And if you notice, the heathens take on the same. It's we they follow and take on the same approach,
Right.
When the men going into war, they go and they bless the men, so to speak.
God.
But it is our law that the priest should speak to the people and let them know that they should not be afraid. Let not your heart be faint, fear not, do not tremble. You don't be terrified because of these enemies, these people that come up against you. Verse 4.
Another one can. Verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
Right. It is the Lord your God that goeth with you to fight against your enemies. Now, when we have never gone into any battle and see God with us. But here it is in our laws, and this is one thing that no other nation have. That's why I say we're joking as a people. We speak about unity and uniting, but we want to unite according to our oppressors' terms.
God.
And that's not so. We have to unite according to the terms that the Most High had already set for us. Right? Which is his law, statutes, and his commandment. And here we have the law that tell you that it is the Most High that fight for you. Right? Your Christians make this claim, but it wasn't given to every nation. Every nation, any nation can be a Christian, but not any nation can be an Israelite. And in verse 3, what it says, it says, and thou shalt say unto them, Hear, O Israel. So the priest speaking to the Israelites. You want to say something?
Salakia, sir. And any nation can be a Rasta. You understand?
Any nation can be a Rasta, any nation can be a Christian. As a matter of fact, the Rasta them can't draw no line against no nation right now because it's the other nation are financially support them.
Right.
All the black men who win Rasta and gain any riches, pull themselves away from the poor are Rasta them.
Yeah.
So the Rasta drive a Benz, him is enemy to the one who the barefoot Rasta.
God.
Him no business. Him, as a matter of fact, just like the most I said, the rich hated the poor.
God.
And you see it play out in their religion today.
Right.
The most I here don't draw lines like those. When it's time for battle, which we have been battling for the last 400 years, we are in warfare. And the worst thing is to be in a war and don't know. Now every man who understand war, look about warfare in the ghetto right now, right? this tribe of people, because get a thing a tribal war too, you know. This family not like that family here.
God.
This family are strong laborite and the family are strong socialist.
God.
And they get going, kill out them one another, bring in other people. Next thing you know, both sides becomes gangs.
God.
Now, it's still warfare. And in any warfare, you have to know your enemy. And you have to know that you are in a war. Most of the people who you see get dead when war are going, you know. It's some of those who do know that they're in a war, you know. Who they normally go for? Then go for your man, baby mother, in father, in brother, sister.
God.
Somebody
God.
who don't know that in brother in a war.
Right. God.
You understand me?
Cancer.
Just like us today, we Israelites, we in the UPK know that we in a war. But who normally the police kill? That man who will pull over up on the road, who don't know that him in a war with the white man.
Right.
Right? The man in the UPK who know that him in a war with the white man. You think you never see police are shot him on the road, so you know.
Yeah, God.
Because we know that they are our enemies and we are in war with them. Right? As much as you see is them you have to go to for work, is them pay your bills, is them this and them doing that. It's because you lose the battle why you have to be doing that. But the Most High is telling you that you is his people, and that day is going to come where he's going to free you. All right, continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 5. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, what man is there that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in battle and another man dedicate it.
All right. So we have a rule in war. We say, why a man build a new house, you know, him not supposed to go in a war. Why? It just as it says. Your next man can take your glory at the house where you build.
God.
Because you're dead gone, waiting and go at me. Your woman don't take a next man.
Right.
If your woman die, you go and marry again, you know. So
God. Slakia, sir, you chip out a while ago.
Continue.
Canada 1 Con. Canada 1 Con. Verse 7. And what man is there that has betrothed? Slakia, verse 6. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard and has not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle and another man eat of it.
All right. So vineyard is not a backyard garden. This is the man who have a couple of fields and probably acres. A sizable garden, right?
God.
And has not eaten of it. That man don't go in a battle. So the man who build a new house don't go in a battle. The man who starting vineyard, planted a vineyard does not go into battle. Continue.
Canada 1 Con. Verse 7. And what man is there that has betrothed a wife and has not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle and another man take her.
This is something that you ever notice Esau? When Esau going into battle, you know, a lot of his soldiers marry just before they go into battle, you know.
God.
And the day before and thing, and they go into Iraq and they married a woman. I mean, for them, one way it's business, Because one, when you're in the army, in Esau's army, and you're married, you get your pay increase, your pay almost double. And then two, when you go on foreign missions, like you're in America and you're going to Iraq, you get more money for going out on a mission. So if you're going on a mission and you're married, you pay big. But here we have it in our laws. You're just married. Go and enjoy your wife. Don't come fight. You're just married, build a house and plant a vineyard. Don't fight. Not so with Esau. Oh, when you sign that contract, say in him army, he call you from your yard anytime. Our laws are more humane. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 8. And the officer shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
Right. So we say what? No cowards.
God.
So you see in the Bible, in the law, how many times no cowards come around. Here it is tell you, if you're a coward, don't fight.
God.
Yeah, that's law. If you are faint-hearted, don't fight. Because just like our courage is contagious, faint-heartedness is contagious. As a matter of fact, we don't use a faint. What we say that, Jermaine? Coward.
God.
Right. Well, not only in Jamaica. Even we say that in the UPK, we say that almost in any warfare. You're afraid to battle, you're a coward. But here the Bible says faint-hearted.
God.
So it's just like how the man who is a villain, the man who is a warrior, and his courage is contagious. Other men around him will become courageous, just the same. It's just the same thing with cowardice. It's contagious.
God.
All right. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 9. And it shall be when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people.
All right. Now, so this is it. You build a house, marry a woman, plant a vineyard, and you're faint-hearted. Don't come in the war. Come not to battle. But after the officers finish speaking and the brave is behind and the no cowards are there ready to fight, captains are made. In the truth, the captains in the truth right now, we have our rank structure. Officer, captain, general, and various ranks in each, ranks of officers, ranks of captain, ranks of general, just the same. This is how our nation operates. And this is how the other fake Israelite group, because they can't bring themselves to serve under the next man, They cannot bring themselves into a rank structure. They tell you all kind of crap. Some tell about them outside serving God. There's no such thing.
Right.
When the enemy come up upon your nation, it's not you alone him come fight. And him not fight everybody else except you. Him fight the whole nation. All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 10. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. Verse 11. And it shall be, if it make thee answer, and it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
All right. Today we in Jamaica, we are tributaries unto whoever it is that control these international lending agencies, IMF, World Bank, whatever. So that means there must have been a time when we were encircled that we cry peace and say, okay, we will become tributaries unto you. Eh?
God.
I
God.
can't remember that time. I don't read about any such thing in history. So how did we become tributaries unto these nations? Because we have lost the battle, and as a matter of fact, we were in no great fighting. Yeah, you used to fight on the coast, various coast of Africa that we were taken from when we flee Jerusalem, fleeing from Roman persecution and prosecution. We came there seeking refuge. Africans, well, them take us, sell us into slavery. After slavery, now we became tributaries unto these nations. What do you mean by tributaries? Means that you pay taxes to them. So they find ways to make you become a source of income unto them. So here in our warfare now, this is what the Most I say. Whenever you besiege a city to go to war with them, proclaim peace unto them.
God.
And if they say, okay, yes, peace, so that means you give them a chance to live, And they say, all right, yes, peace. Then you tax them. You make them be tributaries. But if they say not peace, verse 12.
Canada 1 can, verse 12. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it.
13.
Verse 13. And when the Lord thy God has delivered it into thy hand, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
So you see, the God you serve is a God of warfare. He is making it law. So any city that we go to fight and they will not take the peace that we give them before that battle. When we go into battle, kill every man in there with the edge of the sword.
God.
Continue. 14.
Canada 1 can. Verse 14. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoils thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God has given thee.
It's telling you, take these women and little ones. What you think you're going to take the women and little ones to do? The women and children to do? Make them slaves.
God.
They become servants unto you. And you take the cattle and everything that is in that place. All the spoils thereof shall take unto yourself. Eat the spoils of thine enemy, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. 15.
Canada 1 can. Verse 15. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations.
All right. So this, even though this is in our law, it applies to if we should leave, if we would have lived where Jerusalem was, and to go out into battle. Those nations that were around us, we don't cry no peace to them in the beginning. When time come to war, we war them and kill them out. We don't give them no chance for peace. All right, 16.
Another one, verse 16. But of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God does give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth.
Kill everything. And that's law.
God.
These cities that were close by, when these cities that were in the land that we got, these people, remember we got the land with people on it, and the Most High said, kill them off and take it.
God.
But when you go to church, and what them tell you, what them saying? God is love, God is love. Then I look on the war side of God. God is war too. His war is love unto Israel, and in both we are seriously to when we disobey him.
Right.
So it means more war than love. And this is the reality. So those pain that you are as an Israelite feeling in your life is you resisting the Most High. When we Israelites break the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, we're actually declaring war against him, you know.
God.
And we don't know why we say we're declaring war against him. Because him tell you that if you don't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, he's going to punish you.
Right.
And he's going to punish you, and he will bring your sins, visit it, and your great grandpicking who don't know you.
God.
He bring your sins to that great grandchild who just born innocently. And already the Most High declares, so you just born, but you going to pay your great grandfather's sin.
God.
Now if that child could talk, he would have said, but me don't know him. Not really matter. Isn't that the way warfare is fought among our people? Even gang war.
God.
Many of those who die in these gang war, they could burn down the mother house, the father house, or they burn down somebody from the community. You don't have to be related to the person in the war, you know. Just the fact that you come from the community that they are warring with. You pay the price. So once war break out, they normally make the announcement say, man, them over say a warrior, sir. Don't stay too late on the road. You understand? And every man have to just adhere because what they want to do, anything from this community, they want to kill it. Warfare.
God.
And the Most I understand this more than we do. Right? When you visit that sin on your great grandchild, is warfare that? You use warfare and slavery to punish us.
God.
Right? 17.
Verse 17. Another one, verse 17. Thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, and the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, the Evites, and the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee.
Right. You have all these tribes that the Most High name here, you know. They were all Amites. Remember, Am has 4 sons. The Egyptian, the Canaanites. Sorry, the Egyptian, it was Cush. The Libya was Foot. Egypt was that son was Mizraim. And Canaan. And so you get the Canaanites. But then you have offshoots of these other nations that came out of Canaan. Just like how you have Jacob, and you have 12 nations that come out of Jacob. All right, take for instance, Benjamin now. Benjamin have several offshoots of Benjamin. You have the Trinidadian, be different from we. even though all Benjamites have a little some similarities, right? You have you have Trinidad, you have Jamaica, you have Barbados, you have who else? St. Vincent and Grenadines, Grenada, who else? Antigua, Barbuda, you name them. And they're all Benjamites. So the same thing here so with Canaan. You had many shoots. So the Most High said, this land that I'm going to give you, you are going to rid it of these people. And they were all Canaanites. But some changed, like how, just like how we are all Benjamites and some became Jamaicans. Some became Trini. Some became this, some became that. Right. Some became here from Canaan, some became Evite, some became Amorite, some became Perizzite, Evite, Jebusite. But there are some who remain as Canaan. But when you follow some of the genealogy, it leads right back to Canaan. You remember the tribe that trick I think it's Gibeon I saw that trick Joshua and the people at the time. Tell them that we come from afar, but they were one set of the people who should have been killed. And they made that they gave them a pass and say, okay, all right, you will be spared. When they came up and meet on them, they said, what are the money that did come amongst we? And they had to leave them. Now they were offshoots of one of the Canaanite tribes who were an offshoot of Canaan. So these were mainly Canaanites, and Deuteronomy 18 now.
Canada 1 verse 18, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Lord your God.
So because these nations that were there became so idolatrous, the Most High write them off. Right? And because we didn't do a good job in ridding the land of them, many of them are around today and became problem to us even unto today.
God.
But when Christ returns, he's going to do a very good job. So much so that months after that war, you'll still be burying bodies. Next verse.
Canada 1 verse 90. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time in making war against it, to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down, for the trees of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege.
This is how much most I have respect the trees on the earth.
Right.
You go to war, don't destroy the trees, man. You go to war against a country, you burn the city, that means you're going to cut down the trees.
God.
Because when you take the country, you're going to need those trees. You understand?
God.
So we are not to cut them down, we need them to employ them in the siege. So fruit tree, you're going to besiege the country, you see one going to eat from them. The ones that, there are some that you're going to cut to make engines of war. But you don't just arbitrarily just cut down the tree because you come to besiege the place. 20.
Canada 1 verse 20. Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued.
Right, so there it is. You cut the trees that are not fruit trees to make engines of war.
God.
All right, let's go to 1 Samuel 11.
Canada 1. Start at verse 1.
1 Samuel 11, yeah, verse 1.
God of the one can. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 1. Then Naash, the Ammonite, came up and encamped against Jabesh Gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahar, make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee.
Okay, Naash to Naash or Naash.
God.
All right, so Naash the Ammonite came, and an Ammonite would be what?
Would be a Japanese.
Right, they are the children of Ammon, the Japanese. So Naash the Ammonite came up and encamped against Jabesh Gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said unto Naash, make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. So this is nation now coming against us in battle, to war us. And the city that they came upon, Jabesh, said, yeah, just come up with something and we agree. Make one covenant with us, and we will serve you. You don't need to kill us off. Verse 2.
God of the one can, verse 2. And Naash the Ammonite answered them, on this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes and lay it for a reproach upon all Israel.
So one covenant not go make we do enough. We dig out on the right here. Verse 3.
God of the one can, verse 3. And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, give us 7 days respite, that we may send messengers unto all the coasts of Israel. And then if there be no man to save us, we will come out to thee.
Right. So in the siege now, the elders in Jabesh said, all right, give us 7 days to send out messengers to Israel before you come dig out the right eye. 7 days before you dig out the right eye.
God.
Verse 4 now.
Canada 1 can, verse 4. Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept.
So when that news reached wider Israel now, people start bawling. There was never a period in time there we don't go against war, you know. We don't go up in battle. We don't go up in war. And out here now, it's the same battle. But our response to this battle today is demonstration.
God.
There is nothing they can do, because we are a people that is dead, cut off from our roots.
God.
Continue.
Canada 1 can. Verse 5. And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field, and Saul said, what aileth the people that they weep? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. Verse 6.
But reaching the man anointed, reach the ears of the man anointed to be king now.
God.
6.
Canada 1 can, verse 6. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly.
Yes, so Saul the Benjamite now start transforming into a warrior.
God.
Vex. You get when Ninja Man, I would try to see again. Cross, angry, miserable.
Bounty killer.
Ninja Man.
No, Bounty.
Oh, that was oh Ninja Man slang they go again.
What him say gold teeth.
Oh, original front teeth, gold teeth, Dan Gargan, you come upon you, so where you take this thing for?
God.
And Bounty side I must say, them get me cross, angry, miserable. So
God.
Saul's spirit was kindled within him when he heard this, and most rightfully so. Because You don't even tell the king yet the most and I anoint our nation come up about you and come dig out on the right side.
Yeah.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 7. And he took a yoke of oxen and hewed them in pieces and sent them throughout all the coast of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent.
I said, Dan manship run things long time.
Yeah, man.
A long time thing. The fear of the Lord came on the people when Saul threatened them. And so it's the same like this. This is what will be done to you and to your oxen if you don't come out to fight these people. Continue.
Another one can, verse 8. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000.
300,000 men of Israel. Hello. 300,000 men of Israel was there right here in Bezek. That's where they gather. Judah alone had 30,000.
Okay.
All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 9. And they said unto the messengers that came, thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, tomorrow, by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and shewed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad.
Right. So that city now, Jabesh, here, that 300,000 men coming to help you. Yeah, man, the heart is now lifted up. At least there won't be one-eyed. If I'm going to die, I die with both eyes. Because these Ammonites want to make us, they want us to wear patch. You know that style of black out on the eyes.
Yeah, like pirate.
Like pirate. That mercy. I wonder for them Jabesh man there in Jamaica, yeah. With the pirate thing there, we used to cover. So. Anyway, just joking about that. These Ammonites, Japan not much different today. You know, because the white man kind of humble them.
Right.
Why them behave themselves, you know.
Okay.
But they weren't afraid to take it to America. Which other country ever challenged America that way? No country never moved them military against America in that way. Since the American Civil War and thing. I can't remember that.
Yeah. Was Pearl Harbor the first time Jamaica, America get attacked on them home side? Right,
yeah.
Yeah. And that's Japanese.
And that was the Japanese.
God.
That was the Ammonites. And they put down the Ammonite and made an example of them.
God.
Yeah, man. Drop 2 nuclear bomb on them. No nation not think of doing no other nation don't think of doing that since then. That. All right, 10.
Another one can, verse 10. Therefore, the men of Jabesh said, tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you.
All right.
Verse 11.
Must you tell Ammon that? All right, we'll come out tomorrow and you do what seems good to you. Verse 11.
Another one can. Verse 11. And it was so on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that two of them were not left together.
This is how they were discomfited. They
God.
were not even two were able to fight back to back.
God.
Split them apart and sewer them up. But you see, if we were thinking like them now, every one that you kill with the sword, you dig out the eye now. Dig out back the right eye. All right. That's 11 now. All right, we're going down to 12. So Saul did beat the Ammonites.
Another one,
Continue.
verse 12. And the people said unto Samuel, who is he that said, shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men that we may put them to death.
All right. So after this battle now, led by Saul, those people who were in favor of Saul or with Saul, just tell Samuel, say all them man they know who say them now, Saul now go reign over them. Bring them to it.
God.
Bring those men to us that will kill them backside. Continue.
Another one, verse 13. And Saul said, there shall not a man be put to death this day, for today the Lord has wrought salvation in Israel.
All right.
God.
So you know why those men said that? The glory, the victory was still hot in them, you know. So they're giving Saul the praise.
Right, God.
He said, which people said that my Dan now rule over them.
You know,
Bring them as soon as you broke up them, what's it?
God, I can guess that this was some Benjamites who said this too. Understand?
I see where them still there. What you think you can go certain place and talk about speak against Kingdom?
You understand?
Broke up your players need.
God.
Yeah, man, a real Benjamin there. And I see where the Benjamin them stay today. See where they stay in Trinidad too. See where they stay in all of the other Benjamin Islands. Continue.
Select yes, sir.
Continue.
Another one, verse 14. Then said Samuel to the people, come and let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there. Verse 15. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offering before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly.
Right, so the Most High gives Saul a victory now to make the people start look upon him like a king. See, I tell you, the Most High is just a God of war.
Right.
He could have used something else, but he used war
God.
for the people to turn more to Saul now. All right, chapter 12.
Another one. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12 and 1. And Samuel said unto all Israel, behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. Verse 2. And now behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day. Verse 33.
Yeah, continue.
Another one, verse 3. Behold, here I am, witness against me before the Lord, and before his anointed, whose ox have I taken, or whose ass have I taken, or whom have I defrauded, whom have I oppressed, or of whose and have I received any bribe to blind mine eyes therewith, and I will restore it you. Verse 4. And they said, Thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. Verse 5. And he said unto them, The Lord is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, that ye have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness.
All right, so Saul was making his speech to his people, and Saul was making a speech declaring his, what's the word, his righteousness amongst the people.
God.
Any one of you who can say you pay me to get off our case, or you bribe me, or something, or me take something from you, speak, and I will restore it.
God.
And they said, You have not taken aught from any man's hand. So Samuel said, well, the Lord is witness that you are saying that. And his anointed is witness this year. That his anointed will be Saul. Right? So Samuel saying, the Lord is witness against you. And his anointed is also witness this day, that is Saul, that you have not found aught in my hand, anything me have overworked for. And they say, he is witness. Verse 6.
Another one can. Verse 6. And Samuel said unto the people, It is the Lord that advanced Moses and Aaron, and that brought your fathers up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 7. Now therefore stand still, that I may reason with you before the Lord of all the righteous acts of the Lord, which he did to you and to your fathers. Verse 8. When Jacob was come into Egypt, and your fathers cried unto the Lord, then the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, which brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them dwell in this place. Verse 9. And when they forgot the Lord their God, he sold them into the hand of Sisera, captain of the host of Hazar, and into the hand of the Philistines, and into the hand of the king of Moab, and they fought against them. Verse 10. And they cried unto the Lord and said, We have sinned, because we have forsaken the Lord, and have served Baalim and Ashtaroth. But now deliver us out of the hand of our enemies, and we will serve thee.
All right,
11.
so what Samuel is, hold on, what Samuel is doing here now, Samuel is bringing, this is like, all right, Independence Day in Jamaica is foolishness, but Independence Day, they give a review of we gaining independence, right?
God.
So what Samuel is doing here is similar to that, in that he's giving you the history, going back to Egypt, going back to Egypt when we were captive in Egypt, coming to when Moses took us for 40 years in the wilderness, where the Most High made of us a great nation. And then he brought us and gave us laws. And then he brought us into the land. Now, the thing with these laws, wherever we go, these laws is synonymous with us. These laws are us, we are these laws. Right? But the execution of these laws, meaning that you using these laws to judge the people, takes place in that land,
God,
which was given to us. So out here we follow the laws, but we cannot. The judgmental aspect of the law, that is in suspension.
God.
Until when Christ comes, then he will be the judge. All right. Now, Samuel is doing his review a recollection unto the nation. Where are now? Verse 10.
Verse 11.
Right.
Another one
11.
can, verse 11. And the Lord sent Jerubbaal and Bidan and Jephthah and Samuel and delivered you out of the hand of your enemies on every side, and ye dwell safe. Verse 12. And when you saw that Nahash the king of the children of Ammon came against you, he said unto me, Nay, but a king shall reign over us, when the Lord your God was your king. Verse 13.
Right. You asked for a king, but God was to be your king.
God.
13.
Another one can. Verse 13. Now therefore, behold, the king whom ye have chosen, and whom ye have desired, and behold, the Lord has set a king over you.
Right. So he's now presenting Saul. Continue.
God. Another one can. Verse 14. If ye will fear the Lord and serve him and obey his voice and not rebel against the commandments of the Lord, then shall both ye and also the king that reign over you continue following the Lord your God. Verse 15.
Right. So you see, if you will fear the Lord and serve him, and how we serve him by doing and these laws that he give to us,
God.
obey his voice. He sent his prophet, obey that prophet.
Right.
Today he has made a rebirth of the lines and of the school of prophet, or the school in which the prophets used to have from way back then, in the
God.
form of the I.S.U.P.K. You should be hearing the voice of the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 15. If ye will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you, as it was against your fathers.
Okay. So this is how you declare war against the Most High. If you will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you as it was against your father. And if anybody listening to me doubt this, well, obviously I've been doubting it for years. But anybody listening to me now want to give it a try, go ahead and give it a try. Start following the commandments of the Most High and say if his hands, bit by bit, turn from against you. All the atrocities that you experience in life. You look at other people and say, oh, so and so I make it and me can't make it. Oh, look at it. One thing we love is say, look at the Chinaman.
God.
Look at the Chinaman. Oh, Mr. Chin, come to Jamaica, come make so much money and you out there can't make the money. Mr. Chin no curse. You curse. You get me? So even though you were here before him and thing, him come in and come do better than you because the Lord hand is against you. His hand is against us, his people. Why? Because we will not obey his voice and we are rebelling against his commandments. It's right there, right? The Bible gives us the way back to the Garden of Eden, right? The way back to the Most High, the way back. That is why it's called salvation.
God.
You're salvaged. The Most High send Christ and then send we now in the UPK to salvage you out of this disgraceful, sinful state that you are in. Growing locks, calling yourself Ethiopian, right?
Right.
Eating all, eating all sort of nastiness I want to, and you want us to be friends with you while you eat all your nastiness. Your business that. Is a line we're drawing in the sand. Shh. Who is on the Lord's side, come on this side. Who is not on the Lord's side, go your ways. Right? And we're getting UPK is militant long time. But you're gonna see a time come where UPK are gonna get really serious. And you can start see it with the generals.
God.
Or make it really serious, even more serious than they were back. Now, this is the fire that the Most High saying, go and bring it through, the 1/3, we're going to choose. And trust me, even though we want to see all Israel saved, we know how it will go. And you can see it. On the head tough. They don't want to listen what the Most High is telling you. You are the people of the Most High, right? If you do not obey his voice, right, and rebel against his commandment, then the hand of the Lord is against you, just like it was against your fathers. That is what is in our book that's supposed to help us to put on back our garment, right? That's the way it is. And that's the way we are going to live. That is the way we have been treading the part in the UPK. And we have been holding the olive branch, begging our people basically to come back. But even though more come back now than before, but it still need more to come back. So you see what Saul had to do to get the people to come in. The man don't want to come in, come fight, same thing, mash up the yoke of the axe that he had and send the species into all different areas of Israel. And I said, who know want to come at this, what do to your axe? Right?
Right.
So it's the same thing we're going to do now. You don't want to come, it's your business that.
God.
Right. But we know that, we've been led by a prophet that is tender to the people. But trust me, we are only tender to the people who want to change.
God.
Not to the hard-hearted, stiff-necked one who want to come back and curse you like it's you do something against them. When you are trying to lead them in the right way.
God.
And they're behaving as if you should be running behind them.
Right.
Right? I've never heard of a person who's sick and the doctor call him and say, I am coming to look for you. Is him find the doctor?
God.
So our nation, our people is sick. Who is the doctor now? The UPK. You find the UPK and join your ass to the UPK. And don't expect people to come and kiss your ass. That's not going to happen. They're going to stay out there and burn with the Edens.
Damn
right.
Another one, verse 16. Now therefore stand and see this great thing which the Lord will do before your eyes. Verse 17. Is it not wheat harvest today? I will call unto the Lord, and he shall send thunder and rain, that he may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which ye have done in the sight of the Lord in asking you a king. Verse 18. Another one, verse 18. So Samuel called unto the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel.
All right. So is it because now we're in UPK, we don't really get the power there yet because they speak to God right away and him just send a lightning and drop it right side of you. You catch your afraid. Right. But it's coming. Because that not start happening yet, Sure. You hear all kind of remarks.
God.
But that day is coming again when we're going to be like Saul. Pray to the Most High, ask him to declare himself. When you see it, trust me, Maybe it's going to happen. It is going to happen. And when these things start happening, then shall many of our people start making the turn. Just even start look and say, well, you know, maybe I saw it go then. Even that. But nowadays, you are in outright denial.
Right.
Wondering.
You know what I mean?
You hear some men and they say, well, you have so many groups, you know, may I try to find the right one. And you're talking right there to the right one. We can understand them cases in that they have met other groups, yes. But it's one thing you now need to ask the Most High for. You on the outside. Pray for that discerning spirit.
Right.
So that you can discern which other group is it.
God.
Right?
God.
Because before we came in the truth, we same way, we meet a lot of other groups. So, but there was just something you know so not right with them.
Right.
But every militant man out there know, as a city UPK, they know them.
God.
I've met men downtown who we don't know,
right.
Never seen us, and the very time they see us, but you know, it was one thing with our men greater than the pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, the weed.
God.
They just get hooked on that weed. They just can't give it up.
Right.
You tell me you can't give up weed just to see your enemies drop dead before you?
Right.
It's not worth it. It is worth seeing your enemies alive so that you can go and puff some weed.
Right.
No, that should not be the case. You should want to see your enemies dead just like in these days.
Exactly. God.
So much so that you are willing to, you remember, I know it's not like in the time I saw that they are calling you to the battlefield. You have been called now to give up evil, give up the things of the world. That's all you're doing. To see your enemies drop in front of you. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 18. So Samuel called unto Slakia. Verse 19. And all the people said unto Samuel, pray for thy servants unto the Lord thy God, that we die not, for we have added unto all our sins this evil to ask us a king. Verse 20.
So the Moses sending lightning and thunder and rain to show them that is an evil thing they do to ask for a king.
God.
20.
Another one can. Verse 20. And Samuel said unto the people, fear not, ye have done all this wickedness, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your hearts. Verse 21. And turn.
All right, you have done all this wickedness, but don't give up. Keep serving the Lord.
God.
Continue.
Verse 21. And turn ye not aside, for then should ye go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain. Verse 22. For the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it has pleased the Lord to make you his people.
All right. So Saul is telling the people, even though you have done this, turn not aside from following the Lord. Because the Lord's still not going to forsake you.
God.
Well, he put you in slavery and thing, and he has not forsaken us. He has just punished us.
God.
Right? So that day will come when he's going to come back for you.
God.
And we were punished, not for the sins that we committed, but for the sins that our foreparents committed. You were born in Jamaica not because your foreparents wanted you to born in Jamaica. Your foreparents, you were born in Jamaica because of what has happened in 16 something.
God.
Right? And you still have some stupid people that, well, me no Israelite, I'm a Jamaican.
Right.
Right?
God.
You know, being in service to the Most High, it takes patience, you know. Take patience.
God.
Trust me. Sometimes you hear some stupidness out there. You just want to grab them tongue and ring you out of them head.
God.
But you know, you have to just exercise control and patience.
God.
And say, all right, God will deal with you.
Right.
Yeah. Verse what?
Verse Slakia. Verse 22.
23.
Moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you, but I will teach you the good and the right way. Verse 24. Only fear the Lord and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he has done for you. Verse 25. But if ye shall still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your kings.
All right. But if you shall still do wickedly, you shall be consumed, you and your king. Well, we know the story about that one. Indeed consumed. Everything wipe off in Jerusalem. All right. 70 AD that. Now, this is the Most High's admonition for us. Going against him, but he still is with us. He still remains with us. All right. Let's see if we can do one more. This one long. All right. Take me to which chapter we just read? 12?
12. Cancel.
All right, let's see. 13 is on. All right, let's do 13.
Another one can. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13 and verse 1. Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, verse 2, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. Verse 3, and Jonathan smote the Philistines that was in Gibeah, and the Philistines heard of it, and Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, let the Hebrews hear. Verse 4, and all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal. Verse 5, and the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sun which is on the seashore in multitudes. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Bethaven. Verse 6, when the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait for the people were distressed. Then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in rocks, and in high places, and in pits. Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. Slakia, sir.
Verse what right now?
Slakia. Which part the last part you hear me read? Before you cut off.
I think it was 3.
3?
3.
Can, sir. All right. I take it back from verse 3.
Yeah.
Another one can. Verse 3. And Jonathan.
How far you reach? How far you reach?
Reach verse 8.
Verse 8. All right. Pick up at 4.
Another one can. Verse 4. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal. Verse 5. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitudes. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Bethaven. Verse 6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves and in thickets and in rocks and in high places and in pits. Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan. Another one can. Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. Verse 8.
All right.
And
so,
he tarried 7 days.
Hold on. Now, you see what is happening here now. Bigger nation come up against me now. Philistine. 30,000 chariots.
God.
Today, those chariots will be like tanks.
God.
Think of a ship, big warship, come on Jamaica shore and let out 1,000 battle tanks at Jamaica right now. That's 1,000.
God.
Right? Now these Philistines brought 30,000 chariots, horse chariots, 6,000 horsemen against us. The people saw that. The people know. The very same people who defeat Ammon earlier now, catch them afraid. Some ran into caves, thickets, rocks, high places, pits, all about. They got Israel on the run.
God.
Some even went go back over Jordan in the land of God. Go back to the Gadites and in Gilead. But Saul has to remain in Gilgal because what? He's the king. He can't run.
God.
All right, verse 8.
Another one can. Verse 8. And he tarried 7 days, according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him. Verse 9. And Saul said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offering. And he offered the burnt offering. Verse 10. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came, and Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. Verse 11. And Samuel said, What hast thou done? And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou comest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gather themselves together at Michmash. Verse 12. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself therefore, and offered a burnt offering. Verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly, thou hast not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. Verse 14. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord has sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord has commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee.
All right, so what happened right here now? Samuel was supposed to meet Saul within 7 days.
God.
They set a time appointed, and Samuel didn't show up. Samuel didn't show up, so Saul went on and did a sacrifice. But
Right.
the Most High sent back, when Samuel came now, Samuel said, what you do? You have done foolishly. The Lord would have established your kingdom upon Israel forever. But now, because you do this thing, the Lord is going to remove the kingdom from, now, him not even king couple years ago yet, you know.
God.
But now, because you have done this, the Lord is going to remove the kingdom from you and seek a man of his own heart to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee.
God.
All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 15. And Samuel arose and gat him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah of Benjamin. And Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. Verse 16. And Saul and Jonathan his son, and the people that were present with him, abode in Gibeah of Benjamin. But the Philistines encamped in Michmash. Verse 17. And the spoilers came out of the camp of the Philistine in 3 companies. One company turned unto the way that leadeth to Ophrah, and unto the land of Shual. Verse 18. And another company turned away to Beth Horon, and another company turned to the way of the border that looked to the valley of Zoboi, towards the wilderness. Verse 19. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrew made them swords or spears. Verse 20. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his shear, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. Verse
All right,
21.
so what the Philistines were our oppressor, the major oppressor, even though the Ammonites came up against us, the head one was the Philistine. Just like how now the head one of ours over in this side is America. But
Yeah.
from time to time you hear England say something, you hear other countries say other things. But here now the head oppressor right here though, is the Philistine. And you know what them do? They make sure there is no smith within Israel.
Right.
You want sharpen your sword, you want build a sword or whatever, come to us, the Philistines. They say, least we got have smiths down in the land, I'm going to start make sword and come up against it. Just like how we can set up a factory making guns. Your person not going to allow that. We can, down to the very school of thought, we have to be careful how we admonish or administer these things. we are not allowed to think in any way, political way, different from what the general people under America is thinking.
God.
This is what happens whenever a nation come upon you and is over you. You follow his laws.
God.
So this is how you know that you are in a war. Right?
Right.
And sadly, they're not going to lap them tail and run like what they do in Afghanistan. They ain't gonna do it they're not going to lap them tail and run from Israel.
God.
And I don't mean the land of the Israeli. I mean we, the Israelites. They're not going to lap their tail and run from the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because we are the cash cow. Afghanistan was costing them a bag of money. You know? So much so that one of them, I don't remember which of the American top man them said the other day, not too long ago. Say, but the Afghans must get up and fight. It's their country. Yeah, man. America and Afghanistan is when you slap a dog and him run, when him normally lapping tail and do. Yeah, man. That's America.
God.
But here, the Philistines were well in charge of us, just like America, and being in charge of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They are the ones who have us in bondage, and they're not going to lap them tail and run. Right? Because unlike the Afghans, they have the only thing Afghan had to give them was oil. And look at this, we don't have any oil giving them. Right? But we in the Caribbean islands and those in America and the Americas is more valuable to him than the Afghans. Right? You don't see them running from any of us. No country that we are in, if we even form militias, they're going to find you and take you out. Right? And that would be unrighteous still, you know. And why we say that? Because they are commanded not to fight. That's what the Most High said in the New Testament. But we are in battle still. But the fight that you fight is to give up the ways of the world so that the Lord can fight for you. It's a different kind of battle from what we are reading about here in Samuel that we are under today. But at the same time, you have to understand the battles that we used to fight before, so that can help you to understand today. Because the battles that we were fighting before were physical, but we still have to be keeping the laws to win them. Today, it's not physical, but you're still going to have to keep the laws to win them. So you see the difference with Old Testament, New Testament. It's basically the same. Because these nations are still upon us, still have come against us, still hold us captive. We are still in war. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 20. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his shear and his coulter and his axe and his mattock. Verse 21. Yet they had a file for the mattocks and for the coulters and for the forks and for the axes and to sharpen the goads. Verse 22. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan. But with Saul and with Jonathan, his son, was there found. Verse 23. And the garrison of the Philistines went out to the passage of Michmash.
All right. So you see, all the oppressor did was to remove the Smiths out of Israel,
God,
and we had no weapon. There were mattocks, there was coulters, there was forks, there was axe, there was goods. But all them something kind of farming something. You can use them to fight, yes, but a farming equipment, you know.
God,
But they make sure there was no swords and spear. I
right,
don't farm with a sword. You don't farm with a spear.
God.
So your
So,
person make sure you don't have these weapons.
God,
So even though they have file, can sharpen them own mattocks and thing. There was no weapon. But
God,
Saul and Jonathan had weapon.
God,
So in other words, it was just a chosen few who was able to have weapon. Just like today, you want a gun, what you have to do?
check the done.
You have to go to the oppressor.
Salakia, God,
Huh?
God, Salakia,
You have to go to the oppressor, and the oppressor come and verify um if you should be given a gun.
God,
And a gun is a weapon of war. Which is why in America the gun, the kind of bridle that they want to put on the gun won't happen. And as much as you have white men going off from time to time and just kill people randomly, it's still not going to happen because the nation should be armed to protect themselves against people coming up against them.
God,
And this is one rule that the Swiss has adhered to. You know, in Switzerland, actually every house have a gun. Crime is way down.
right,
That's one thing your person understand. That's one thing we need to understand, right? We are in a war, and the weapon is the Almighty.
God,
And you need to sharpen that weapon by keeping His law, statutes, and commandment. Take me down to Romans 12. Go into the New Testament and
God,
to
one
see
gun,
how we are supposed to fight this day.
God, one gun.
Romans
But it's a
chapter
start at
12.
verse 1.
No. We're going to start from 17. And we're going to, I think, the
God, one
end.
gun.
Right. From 17 to the
God,
end.
one. God, one gun. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Right.
Verse
And here it says all men is not only Israelite, even those who are oppressor. You have to provide, be honest with them.
God.
Why? Because you can't fight them. So the most you can do is try to be honest and good to them. Continue.
Right. God, one gun. Verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Live peaceably with all men. Even with the oppressor, try to live peaceably with him. Because he will kill you and nothing come out of it.
God.
You get me?
God, sir.
Your oppressor kill you. Your oppressor kill you. Your people can how your oppressor kill you. Send the police, the army, whatever against you.
God.
And kill you. What you can do about that? You go to courts. Is his court also going into, you know? And this was what our forefathers understood. They don't expect to find justice in the enemy's courthouse. But at the same time, what you going to do? Continue.
God, one gun. Verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
So all the evil atrocities that they have put against us, the Most High is saying to you, well, you can go and fight like Saul, you know. Vengeance is mine. So the Most High want all the revenge, that all the atrocities that is being done to his people, he will take the revenge for you. It's not going unpunished, trust me. You know, since recently here, there's another thing that came out about the oppressor. In this case, in America, where the police abuse a black man, and they want him to make what they normally cut a deal, what them call it, confession or something.
Plea
Right? I
bargain.
don't plea bargain. They want to make a
God.
plea bargain with him.
God.
In that, and a sign non-disclosure agreement with him. So they want to make a settlement with him as well. Give him some money, and him should come out and apologize.
God.
And say publicly that he forgive them. So all along, we have been hearing these things. We think that these people are just stupid.
Right.
But when I heard that, and I'm glad I heard it straight from Commanding General YAHANNA, when him say, imagine even that young man who did get up in the courthouse and hug the oppressor and thing. It was all a part of the act. All a part of the bargain. So in other words, you get some financial compensation. You can't disclose so you get the financial compensation, and you have to show public. So why is this so important to them? So that they can continue to do the same atrocities to more people.
God.
All along we used to see this and we say, boy, them people are people stupid and thing. But it's a non-disclosure agreement. So as much as you are going to curse them, they cannot say anything.
God.
They are sworn to silence. They can't say anything. They have to take the money and keep quiet. Take the cussing from the people, from us, the people. But what I find interesting is the most I say I'm going to expose them secret parts. So that is part of their secret parts, man. That they are doing these things. Right? But the most is telling us we cannot take the vengeance. Don't bring the vengeance to them. Vengeance is his, and he will repay. Verse 20.
Another one gone. Verse 20. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
All right. So, all enemy, your enemy of your people, feed him.
God.
Even if you see the white man enemy and you want to help him with the school, not tell us that, but we need truth. We ain't gonna help him still.
God.
But this is it. Well, guess what? We tip white man at sitting too, so it doesn't really matter. But what the Most High is telling you is that you being nice to them, you heap coals of fire and their head. Meaning what? He can't understand how him be so terrible against you while you are being so nice to him. And this goes for all your enemies. If the enemies of your people, you can't fight him either. Because we used to fight civil wars, you know? A lot of civil wars. So even the enemies of our people, we can't fight them either. We have to be nice to them. Right? Our civil wars has come down to gang wars. Now, when once a man from one gang come in the truth and him see another man from a gang where him used to war, what him going to do? We can't do anything. Two of them in the truth.
Right.
They have to be nice to each other.
God.
But he's telling you a way to not have these gang wars. They are hungry, feed them. Remember in Chicago, a couple years back, people who start dead and them say the news keeps saying it's gang war and thing. And the gangs them come out to have a march. I say, it's not we doing it. And the enemy was furious. It's like they said, no, we can't have no gangsters come out and a march. They were the ones doing it, you know. The same police, them, you know, trying to make wars among us.
God.
People, we are at war with this beast. And the only thing is, he knows it and you don't.
Right.
Where are now? 20? Oh, 21.
21. Another one can. Verse 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
All right. So be not overcome of evil, meaning that atrocities done to you. Don't let that atrocity consume. If somebody does something evil to you, we know Benjamin think, oh, I murder more and murder that, Me catch all them people there. They do have some ninja man style of screw face. And say, oh, I are some bounty killer. Not the Vibes Cartel type. But the ninja man and bounty killers type of screw face and say, oh, I want to catch one of all them family, and you see what happened to him, So we do it, we can't catch him, Yeah, man, can't catch Quark, you catch him short. So this is when you do these things now, you are being overcome of evil. But the Most High is saying, be overcome, but overcome evil with good. So our battle is not carnal. Our battle is not physical. Our battle is not between our brother. The battle is not between even Esau. The battle is what? Spiritual. It's still a battle between good and evil. And we can overcome this evil by doing good. That's what the scripture is telling you. Not going out there and fight, but doing good. Coming to the I.S.U.P.K, come under Commanding General YAHANNA's guidance, and you will overcome evil with good. And we'd like to pass the class to Priest and Officer Kayadwa.
All right, clap it up. All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. The I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to shed themselves. Slakia, they are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, that is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. You know what I mean? This is the first day of the 7th month, and this is on Monday, the 6th of September. You know what I mean? You can find this in Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say I Mariam, which means to stand. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Sarlapanya Akwadam, which means turn and face the east. Abanawa. Shabashamaya. Kwadash. Aya. Shamka. Awa. Watka.
Malakwatka.
Atazaka.
Atazaka. Aisha.
Taza. Kawa.
Marataza. Kawa.
Aya. Bashamaya. Natanlanawa. Lakam.
Slow down.
Select.
Bashamaya.
To the deep. Select. Natanlanawa.
Natanlanawa.
Lakam.
Kal.
Yawam. Wasalaklanawa. Kababwatnawa. Kasalatnawa. Kababwatianawa. Wala'a. Tabayanawa. Banasayawan. Aba. Awashainawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa.
Wahala.
Waatapara. Walamiam.
Amen. In English, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever so be it. Amen.
Forever so be it. Amen.
All right. Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
All things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen that speak against us.
To the heathens that speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
And shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
The nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space programs.
Space program.
Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. The cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathen that stand in the way.
All the Edens that stand in the way.
Or try to stop us from broadcasting your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh shine. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathens. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always, so be.
All right, this is the prayer for the power of Hebrew. Yahweh Basham Yahweh.
Yahweh Basham Yahweh.
Baba Kwasha.
Baba Kwasha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Akak.
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 Larapa'a.
Larapa. Larapa. Kalmakala.
Wakal Madawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Lata'ar.
Lata'ar.
Amatazaraya.
Amatazaraya.
Akak.
Akak.
La Akwaya.
Lahakoya.
Amataya.
Amatya.
Akak.
Akak.
Ilrakawa.
Ilakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Lagarshan.
Lagarashan.
Basham Yawashai.
Basham Yawashai.
Tuwada Aman.
Tawadama. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahushai.
To cast them out in the name of Yahushai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a.
Wa'a.
Wayatsaparia.
Wayatsaparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Agan.
Bagan.
Agan.
Hagan.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
The young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Ba'asham Yawashai.
Ba'asham Yawashai.
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman. All right, what Rob just said in English. Lord, in the name of Yahawashi, bless us and Israel. Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved one. In the name of Yahawashi, thank you, Sophie.
All right, sorry, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, I.M.A.D.U.M. Shabbat, I.M.A.D.U.M. Barak, Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai Barakatah.
Yaramata. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Turn and face the sisters. Men of Israel, I.M.A.D.U.M. Shabbat, I.M.A.D.U.M. Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Ailatan, Yawashai. Yaramata. Yaramata, class dismissed.
ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. I'm 2 and 5, I'm not 7-3. I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. Left the 203, went to 646. It was 347. We was in that bitch. Since 69, we've been making hits. Since Pissy Mattresses was making flips. A gourmet dishes, cereal and grits. Empty wallet feeding 50 kids. It's fucked up, but that's how we live. Fucked up, but that's how we live. With a millionaires, they could build Goshen. Always been fluid like I'm from the ocean. I'm always serious, I ain't never joking, not puffed up.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.
Remember to subscribe to the channel, click the like button, you know what I mean? Leave your comments, you understand, and share on every social media platform, you understand? And with that, we say shalom.
City with the rude boys, so you think it's tough, really true toys. It ain't Bible talk, ain't in the mood for it. And I bully, you better run for it. You 215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. You 215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet.
Okay, so I wake up in Philly, homie out in Guatemala, other homie in the prison, man, it's all about $1. Hit my homie in Chicago, or my man in Nicaragua, take a trip out to Jamaica, or UK, them bitches holla. I'm okay out in LA, cause I can speak that guala. Go to Florida for a day, hit New York for about an hour, catch me out in Wilmington, or in Northwood, Kawakaball, DC, Baltimore, it's all about $1. I get tickets everywhere, so in VA I need a driver. Got my shorty out in Camden, cook lasagna with ricotta. Got LeBron out in Detroit, in Carolina, you know grinding is the point, but it's not about designer. I've been styling on the joint. The Chronicles of a Prophet. I need something out of Texas. Hey, YAHANNA, I know we got it. Yo, let's get this shit on film. Zabala won't get the camera. Let me make one call to Kapasha on Indiana.
215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. 215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. My bitch 4-0 and keep her mouth closed. Let she talk to me, show like the speed. She wear modest clothes and ain't bother with hoes. Plus she ride the dick till it fall asleep. You online talking like you're harming me, but in person fabricating harmony. Like Shalom, Yashara, Yehuda, Aki, I'd have had respect if you tried to play. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for brotherhood, and it's mainly cause on my brother's hood. But if it's all bad, don't pretend we good. Cause if you write you will, then I wish you would. I don't ask for beef, but I am seasoned, nigga.
Whoa, why you tripping?
Don't need a reason, nigga.
I really love that Bible.
Live and breathe it, nigga.
Look, he cool, but he gay.
I wanna meet them niggas. Yeah. 215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet. 215 973, I'm good at any area code. YB, you ain't gaming right if you don't play for keeps my bitch 4-0. And she like the sweet.
going crazy. I don't want to put the attitude.
Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Then keep it real with niggas, man. Most of y'all frauds. Leave like you frauds. Y'all pussy niggas gon' ride for your dog. Right at your man. I put the dagger right in his heart. I'm playing my part. Definitely I'm playing it smart. And if I don't get you, then I'm coming for your brother then. Or his mother then. It's kinda crazy revenge settling. Rape sold and murdered the natives when they was settling. Coming in out of the water that they was fishing in. I was raised in hell. It got dark when I was peddling. White man harassing the block when we was peddling. White man who also was the plug when we was peddling. I would never fraud if I was on David Letterman. This is UPK, ain't no job Shabazz. When the Christ come back, I'm right on your ass. Got the Johnny Walker in me, and I'm all in my bag. I'm on my Friday the 13th with the gun and the mask. Ah, who's that creeping through my window?